Exercise trade winds got underway on June 13. Through this exercise, a number of training exercises were conducted on the ground, air, sea, and cyberspheres. There are 17 partner nations from the Caribbean, Europe, South, and North America. During a visit to some of the training sites on Friday, including Camp Stevenson at Timeri, East Bank Demerara, participating officers and trainers shared what the experience has been like thus far.
One of our primary missions here is to provide medical casualty evacuation in the event that whether a U.S. soldier or a host nation soldier or any of the coalition partners get injured, we have the ability to fly them in our helicopters very quickly to medical treatment so that further injury doesn't occur. In addition to that, we're here to provide training for the host nation and other nations in working with U.S. coalition forces. That way, if the need arises and that becomes a big issue, they already know how we operate, we know how they operate, and it works well as a partnership.
The more we share, the more we can learn. I know talking with some of the U.S. forces out there, they're learning just as much from the Guyanese and the other partner nations here as much as we are doing with the training with them. So it's, even though we're providing training, they're actually learning from them as well.
Obviously, they're using different weapon systems. Every force that comes out here uses different weapon systems. The last 31st Special Forces group used AKs, and here they're using the M16s. They're aware of the fundamentals, and it's just us being able to identify anything that we can address at the moment to help them out get a more tighter group. But they're well enough to use their weapon systems. They're shooting pretty accurate, and we're seeing that slight improvement as we're addressing and demonstrating different drills that we're doing, maybe drills that they haven't done before, and giving them the reason behind the drills. As an example, we did the failure drill. The failure drill consists of 2 rounds, and we're using the circle targets that you see out there, 2 rounds in the middle circle and then 1 round in the upper circle. And the reason for that is a lot of times the threat may have body armor, so 2 rounds in the middle circle and the threat is still there. So we have them shoot the 3rd round in the upper circle, making sure that they're not hitting body armor. So those are the type of drills we're running through with them, making sure they got that repetition going. But they're doing well. We're definitely seeing a progression in the positive direction.
Basically, we're on the training, so as there is to teach, it will be very much beneficiary at the conclusion that as an instructor, I will be able to impart into my ranks and the ranks within the Guyanese Forces. Presently, on this platoon here, we have approximately about 22 junior ranks and one officer.
That's part of the reason I joined the U.S. Army, because we have the capability to reach out and help and train, and that's something that we pride ourselves on doing, even as a Guyanese.
On Friday also, U.S. Ambassador to Guyana Sarah Ann Lynch visited some of the training sites and got to see firsthand what was being done. Following that visit, she commented that this training has permitted mutual learning.
First of all, it deepens the relationships and the partnerships between the U.S. and Guyana, but also the other nations that took part in this. This was very much of a multinational exercise. And so I think, again, deepening and strengthening those partnerships is really the best part of it. But beyond that, they share techniques, they share different ways of addressing similar issues. And so I think it's very much of a learning experience for everyone. I heard from the U.S. military yesterday that they were very interested to see the different techniques that the Guyanese had on the water in terms of boat formations. And so it's definitely sharing that information that is making this a wonderful exercise overall.
This military exercise will conclude on June 25, and it is expected that by then, a framework guiding how multinational operations can be conducted would be established. Reporting for the newsroom, I am Vashani Ragabir.